Hi, welcome to another edition of Eating Sharp with Lynn Sharp. Today, just like your reality shows, as the results show, this is the leftover show. And what we're going to leftover is what to do with that leftover lasagna that I made earlier this week and the film didn't come out right. So I'm going to show you how to use the leftovers of this lasagna. Now, there's a couple of important things you want to remember when you're doing leftovers and making them into something else. You want to bring in some fresh ingredients. On this particular dish, I'm going to make lasagna soup. So I brought in some fresh zucchini out of the garden. I'm bringing in some more fresh garlic and some fresh carrots. And then I've got some canned corn here, or excuse me, frozen corn here. And I'm going to also beef it up with some more sausage and hamburger. This way it will taste more like it's something new than a leftover. Now you can spice it up with putting a serrano pepper in it or a habanero pepper in it if you'd like, but I'm not going to on this show today. So first, let's go ahead and start the beef and the sausage. Let's get that cooking up. And while this gets cooked up and browned up, you guys enjoy a little clip from the lasagna show that didn't quite make it on the air. Got the ricotta cheese here ready to go. And what I like to do with the ricotta cheese is I like to add my herbs to it before I start cooking the meat so that those flavors can start blending into the ricotta cheese. I got about 2 pounds of ricotta cheese here. And I've got 4 fresh leaves of basil and about a tablespoon each of Mexican oregano and thyme. So we'll just put these in here and just mix this in. Now some people like to put eggs into their ricotta cheese. That's all well and good. I just don't prefer eggs in mine. Okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that clip of the lasagna. Now remember, I first started with some fresh ground beef and some fresh sausage. It's probably equal to about a good pound of that I browned up in my pan. To this, I want to add some fresh garlic. That's about a good tablespoon. I'm going to add the carrots. It's about a good cup. I'm going to also add a can of diced tomatoes. Now these tomatoes have a little basil and garlic in them as well, so that's going to bring a nice flavor to the lasagna soup. I'm going to go ahead and get these mixed in, and then I'm going to add about 4 cups of water to this. Just like that. I'm going to boil and then bring it down to a simmer until the carrots are almost cooked, because everything else is cooked, and the zucchini you don't want to overcook. So watch another clip from the lasagna and we'll be right back when this is ready to add some more ingredients to our soup. Now I'm going to add a half a can of tomato sauce. You might be wondering where the other half went. I will show you when we go to build the lasagna. Okay, it'll be a little secret, a little surprise. So about a half a cup of the any type of spaghetti sauce that you want, with different flavors or whatever. And then I've got a can of diced tomatoes, because I like to have my lasagna to have some nice chunks in it. And that was a half a can of tomatoes too. So we're going to want to simmer this down to try to eliminate some of the moisture in here. Oops, I am just making a mess today. Okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that clip of the lasagna. Now next, the carrots are almost done. So what we want to do is, I had some leftover lasagna noodles. So what I did is I diced them up. I'm going to add those right to the soup, right to the pot. If you don't have any leftover lasagna noodles, don't worry. It's just that I had some, so we can add them right in. Next, we're going to add some corn. About a cup and a cup to 2 cups of frozen corn. And we're going to let this come back up to a boil, and then I'm going to taste it to make sure that it has enough seasoning in there for it to carry through for a dish. So let's see if we got enough seasoning. Now the lasagna is going to bring a little seasoning as well, but we want to make sure this is where we need it. It is. It's very nice and mellow. You can taste the herbs from the can of diced tomatoes. I think it's going to be really good. If for some chance you need to, after you taste it and you think it needs a little more flavor, you can put in some chicken base. I would do it a teaspoon at a time to make sure you don't over season it. Or instead of putting the 4 cups of water in, you can get the chicken base already in the box and pour that in instead of the water. Okay? So next we're going to add the lasagna to this, the leftover lasagna. Now I've diced it up. This is my leftover lasagna, and you can see I diced it up so it'll match, the noodles will match the same size as the other noodles that I put in. Just toss this right in. It's going to be a very nice hearty soup. Okay, now at this point, if you can see, let me turn this, maybe the camera can focus down a little bit. You can see, let me just turn it like this, it's a little too thick. Okay? So what I want to do at this point is add just enough water. I have 4 cups here. Let's see what I'm going to use. Probably 1.5 cups of water into this, just so it's not really, really too thick. You want to have it more of a soup-like consistency. Now what I'll do now is bring this back to a boil. I'll add the zucchini, and then I'll turn it off. And the heat from the soup itself will finish cooking the zucchini. So here's another clip of the lasagna video, and we'll be right back to add the zucchini and taste it up. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, the lasagna was in for about 45 minutes, and I took it and I took the lid off, and you can see from spraying this there is hardly any cheese. There's just a little bit of Parmesan cheese stuck to this. So this is a good tip for you when you make those cheesy types of dishes like lasagna or even macaroni and cheese, when you do a nice baked macaroni and cheese. Alright, it came to a boil. I added the zucchini. Now you can also add, if you have some broccoli or cauliflower or any other hearty vegetable, you can add to this as well. So let's give it a taste, see how it is. Dish some up, see how nice and chunky that is. I'm going to fill a bowl here. Just like that. You can put a little Parmesan cheese on top of this. I like fresh grated Parmesan cheese. Just like that. Or you can put a little sour cream on there as well. So let's give it a taste. Hopefully it's not too hot. It tastes just like liquid lasagna. It is so delicious. The herbs are coming through, the garlic is coming through. There's a little spice from the sausage, but not too much. You can taste the ricotta cheese in there. It kind of mellows it out a little bit. This is really good. So until next time, this is Lynn Sharp with Eating Sharp and Eat Well. I'm going to have some more. Let's pull it out and take a look at it. Oh, it's nice and brown. The cheese, the cheese has browned up nicely, and of course we can see that this side has the peppers from the slices of peppers that we put back in. So you'll want to stay tuned, because After we eat this, later on, I'm going to have a show to show you what to do with the leftovers. It's going to be something totally different that you probably haven't even thought of to do with your lasagna. Also, I'm making banana bread this week, and as soon as my other 2 eggplants on the vine or the plant in my garden get big like this, I'm going to journey over to Sherilyn's house, and I'm going to show you how to make some classic eggplant parmesan.